Look, I am really excited for Resident Evil 9, and I feel this way personally because Capcom has been on an absolute roll lately. But if you don't really keep up with Capcom outside of the Resident Evil series, well, then this video might come as a surprise to you. And as stoked as I am for the game, I do have some concerns, and they're not for the reasons that you might think. So I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Reason number 1. The delay. So as we've heard, RE9 has supposedly been delayed. Now, we kind of know this already because they haven't announced something in forever, and also the year that we thought Capcom was going to reveal RE9, well, they didn't, but later that same year, they came out and they confirmed, hey guys, we're still working on the game. So I think that's enough proof to show that, yeah, they had plans to reveal the game that year, but obviously RE9 just isn't ready yet. And that's okay, and that's not what I'm worried about. You see, RE9 has been in development since 2018, so basically around the time that Village was in development. And for those that didn't know, RE Village was supposed to be more open world, but more on that in a little bit. Anyway, with RE9 being in development since 2018, it's been what, 7-8 years now? That worries me for one reason only. Yeah, Resident Evil 6. Huh? Look, I like Resident Evil 6 a lot. I know that's a hot take, but factually, Resident Evil 6 was the most ambitious Resident Evil game ever made. Multiple campaigns, tons and tons of content. I'm sure the game had a really high budget. The game also had voice actors that are really well known in the industry, but not even Resident Evil 6 was in development for that long. So I'm worried, not because the game has been quote unquote delayed. I'm worried because what if the game is taking so long because Capcom is trying to be overly ambitious? So if that's the case, well, I'm kind of scared because as much as I liked RE6, I don't want another Resident Evil 6. We don't need Resident Evil 6 2.0 all over again. And that leads into my next point. Reason number 2. New technology. So remember how earlier I told you guys that RE Village was originally meant to be more open world? Yeah, well, that's true, and you can kind of see that in the concept art, which I actually made a video on the cut content for Village, so if you want to go check that out after this video, I highly recommend it. Anyway, for those that don't know, RE Village was meant to be more open world. Capcom had plans to use this open world technology with Village, but Capcom was scared that Resident Evil Village was going to take too long to develop, and that's why Village was kind of scaled down, and we can kind of see this in the final product. I loved Village. Honestly, it's one of my favorite RE games, but that game is so weirdly and honestly badly paced. It was meant to be a much bigger game, but of course it would have taken way too long to develop, and they didn't want that. However, this open world technology, they went on to use it with 2 other video games, Dragon's Dogma 2 and Monster Hunter Wilds, which of course are both open world games. Now you might be thinking, how does this have anything to do with Resident Evil? Well, DD2 and Monster Hunter Wilds both have really bad performance issues. It's just a simple fact that this open world technology is not good with the RE engine. That's not what the RE engine was meant for. So if you're wondering how this affects Resident Evil, well, the rumor is RE9 is Capcom's most ambitious RE game, and Dust Golem confirmed that this open world technology that they used with these 2 games, yeah, they're using it with Resident Evil 9 supposedly. And there's the rumor that RE9 might be open world. That worries me. Like I said before, I don't think the game is going to be completely open world. I just think it's going to be a lot more open with more NPCs, more enemies on screen, just a lot more going on. And I feel like the RE engine currently cannot handle that. So this makes me worried if RE9 is going to be using this new technology with more enemies on screen and just more stuff going on. I'm scared that the game is going to have the same exact performance issues that DD2 and Monster Hunter Wilds have, where the game is going to be buggy, it's going to be unoptimized, we're going to experience a lot of crashing issues. However, there is good news. As we know, Capcom is developing an upgraded engine called the Rex engine, which we don't really know much about it from my knowledge, but it sounds like it's going to be an upgraded version of the current RE engine. But I feel like Capcom got way too ambitious, and they're like, you know what, let's just use this technology with the current engine, you know, it'll work. Reason number 3. The rumors. So I've been making rumor videos in RE9 for a while, and I've slowed down for you guys because again, I don't want to confuse you guys, and I know how much a lot of you are just tired of speculation videos and you're tired of people just coming up with stuff. I totally get it, so don't worry, I hear you guys. But there's one rumor specifically that I'm worried about. Jill Valentine, specifically her. There's been a couple playtesters supposedly that said that Jill Valentine will be a main playable character in RE9, but then Dust Golem came out and he said don't get too excited, because Jill Valentine might not have an important role in RE9. Now, that could mean two things. Either she's completely cut from the game, or she's gonna have a lesser role like Chris Redfield did in Resident Evil Village. Let Jill have some star power, you know, let Chris and Jill have some star power together. I've been saying forever now that I need RE9 to continue where Village left off. They created such an interesting plot line that I really want them to go through with. The BSAA has been, you know, creating bioweapons and sending them out as soldiers to infiltrate the village and possibly other parts of the world. Yo, if you don't get Chris and Jill to team up and infiltrate the headquarters and make that the next Resident Evil game, I swear. Because I don't know about you guys, but I think it's time for Jill Valentine to come back. But thanks for watching, everybody, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more Resident Evil content.